least 500 cookies were sold. So both questions. So the if statement should be the same, right? I want to find something when at least 500 cookies are sold. But what is this something? The statement says there is a 5% chance at least that many pies are sold. So at least that many pies, right? So there is a very small chance that I will sell this much pies or more. So this is basically what what should be the clue to think that you need to find the 95th percentile, right? Because the 95th percentile is basically the point where you have 95 of the observations being below that point and 500 of the observation and 5%, right? 95% below that point and 5% of the observations are above that. So saying at least that many pies or more, right, means the top 500% of pie sales. That is the 95th percentile. So how do we calculate that? As I said, the if statement is exactly the same. Cookies need to be, or at least the test, right? Cookies need to be greater than or equal to 500. But in this case, we're not looking at cake sales, we're looking at pie sales. So we would say pies, right? Otherwise, I don't look at anything. So I look at pies only on these days here, 500, 500, 700, etc. And now here, we're not looking to calculate the median, we're looking to calculate for this quantity here, right? The percentile. And remember the percentile, basically this function, we just use percentile or percentile.exe for the new version of the function. Of course, it has a second argument, where you specify what percentile you want, and you put 0.95, right? Because it's at least this amount or more. It's the top, the 95 percentile. It's the top 5%. So many of you got confused because initially you might think, right, it's the top 5%. So many of you calculated the 5 percentile and not the 90. And that's, understandable, right? But we did actually look at an example in class at the end of that session where we looked at the 95th percentile, all right? And it was this argument, okay? So this was basically the whole homework 3, all the homework for that chapter. We did take a lot of time on this, but I know it was a little bit harder for many of you. Some of you did not submit it. Don't do that, okay? Even if you feel like you don't know what to do for that, just try. Chances are some of what you are trying to do is correct, right? Or even if you're on the wrong path, it will give you some kind of feedback and tell you, no, don't do that. That is not what is needed here. This is what you need to be doing, right? And also you had the chance to resubmit on some feedback that I gave you. I didn't see how many were resubmitted for this. I hope there are quite a few. And if you didn't do that great on this specific homework, don't be discouraged. I'm pretty sure this is the one that is the most difficult in terms of coming up with new ways of how to use something. All right. Future homeworks are, you should be able to find how to do exactly what I'm asking you to do based on the different examples we've already seen, okay? There is not so much, let's say, creativity involved. Any question? Any more questions on this on the third homework.
Gosh, dang, come on now.
Anything else? So for, let's look at some things. For chapter 9, unless you have any questions on chapter 3.
Excuse me, Professor. Professor.
Yeah, go ahead.
So just to clarify, you haven't went over the resubmission for chapter 3 yet?
I have not graded those yet, no.
Oh, okay. And when is going to be the deadline, if I may, for that resubmission?